Hi, I'm Vivian Williams, and this is W.B. Reed on the guitar, and we're sitting on my back veranda.
Yeah.
Do you spell that with a H or without an H?
Well, we've got Lake Washington behind us. You
yes,
can't quite
okay,
see
whatever. And I'm going to play a few of my favorite fiddle tunes. And we're going to start with one called 9 Miles, which I got from John White. Phil and I went to the Hallsville Square Dance in Hallsville, Missouri. Was it 2013, 2012? I forget. And I didn't know this tune when I got there, but when we were done playing it, because John White was playing, it was kind of a pickup band, and John White played this on the fiddle, and I think it lasted about 8 minutes. So by the time we were done, I knew the tune. It was one of my favorites.
Great tune. I remember John White quite well.
Yeah, he was great. He was a great fiddler. Gee, I don't know. Next on the list. We don't have to do the next on the list,
no,
but let's do it anyway, because it's
like.
Old Coon Tug.
All right.
And this is in the key of F. And I learned this from an old square dance record. I can't remember the name of the band, and I don't know if I ever knew the name of the fiddler. But Old Coon Dog. There's a bunch of tunes with similar names, and this is one of them.
They're all applauding out there.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, good. How about Lee's March?
Sure.
Okay, this is a mysterious tune, or at least it was mysterious to me for years and years and years, and only recently I found out who wrote it. It was written by bluegrass fiddler Mac McGahey, who played with Don Reno for, I don't know, a million years or so. And that's the only recording I've ever heard of it is Don Reno and Mac McGahey playing it, and it's pretty lively. It's straight ahead bluegrass, and they get you listen to that thing, it's kind of crazy. I mean, they're obviously having some kind of a jam session right there in the recording studio. But I learned it. Yeah, but I learned it from a Mississippi fiddler, a guy named Bill Mitchell, and he used to come to Weezer back in the 60s. He was the let's see, when I first met him, he was the guy that trained the police dogs in Tupelo, Mississippi. And then the next year he had got elected sheriff of Tupelo, Mississippi. So as you can imagine, we never, ever discussed politics. Remember, this is the late 60s. So, but he was one amazing fiddler. And I got this tune from him.
Good one.
Did I say what the name of it was?
You did.
Okay, it's Lee's March. I couldn't remember if I
think you did.
said that. Okay, I said it now, Lee's March. Alrighty. Let's do something really different. How about, oh my gosh, Brahms polka. Okay, I used to say this is the silliest tune ever written, but that's not really true, because it wasn't the guy that I got it from, didn't actually write it. He stole, okay, it's called Brahms polka, and I got it from Joe Panzereski, who was a North Dakota fiddler who lived in Washington for a long time and was one of my mentors. And he got it from Verge Evans, who was a fiddler in California. And Verge Evans got it from Johannes Brahms.
Well, there you go. Directly?
No. So Brahms wrote this, I don't know how many, 37 Hungarian dances. And so what Verge did was he took the first 10 measures of Hungarian dance number 6, and then he just, you know, after that he just added on his own thing, as far as I know. So I guess that means that Verge wrote, what, about 3/4 of the tune?
Something like that.
I don't know, but it's quite crazy. Brahms polka.
All right, I saw everybody out there poking.
Yeah, of course.
Polka-ing.
And I forgot to tell a funny story about
Oh,
that
well, do
tune. Okay, so Verge used to come to Weezer, and he played that tune a lot. And then he passed away, and he had, it'd been a number of years, and I finally learned the tune. And so I played it in the Weezer contest one year. And so after my round was over, this little old lady from California comes up to me. She says, "Oh, it's so nice to hear you play that tune. I haven't heard it for years, but you're playing it all wrong." So I said, "Oh, okay, so what do I need to fix?" And she says, "I'll send you the sheet music," and she did. So what I was doing wrong in the part that's supposed to go, I learned it from Panzerewski and not directly from Verge, and he played. So it was, I didn't do the double stop. So that was just, I played it all wrong. Oh my God. So of course, I wouldn't dare violate that. Okay, how about rice straw?
Oh, rice straw.
So, on Christmas Day, 1862, in a little cabin on the banks of the Duwamish River, Henry Van Asselt and Carol, what was her name? Maple. The Maple girl. She had a bunch of Carol, I don't know. Got married, and they had, after the wedding, they had a dance. And so there was a fiddler named Jake Lake, and he played for the dancing. And about 45 years later, the bride's brother wrote an article in the Seattle newspaper about that wedding, and he actually listed some of the tunes that were played. And so my late husband Phil and I used to do all of these historical programs. And so this was included in one of them. And of course, I had to find out what those tunes were. And there's a couple of them I didn't know. And one of them was Rye Straw. Now, I'd heard it, I'd heard a bunch of people play it. And I didn't like any of the versions that I heard. And I looked up, I went online and I looked up in tune books and all this kind of stuff. And I figured, okay, I'll just have to make up my own version because everybody plays it differently. So this is a kind of a synthetic version of it. The first part I actually stole from Lee Stripling.
Yeah.
And the other parts I stole from here and there. So
All right.
here we go. Rye Straw.
You didn't put the Lee ending on there. You used to do the little Lee Stripling ending, I thought. Maybe
No,
not.
I
He used to
don't
go
think so.
da 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 at the end. I guess you got the Lee Stripling beginning.
I got
That's-
the Lee Stripling beginning, but not the ending.
Great.
Oh, and when we did these historical programs,
Which
I would
Phil used to call them hysterical programs. I always thought they were
hysterical programs. Yes, that too. But I used to tell people that this has words to it, and they're really not suitable for, for
Polite company.
polite company. That well put. Well, but if you're interested, you can come up to me after the show, and I'll tell you the words. And nobody ever did. So I don't know if they were just too embarrassed, or maybe they already knew them.
Right.
I don't know. I never could figure that out. But, or they just didn't want to know. Oh, the horror.
They are
Scatological
pretty
words.
bad words.
They are. They are.
They get worse and worse too as you
Oh,
hear more
yes.
verses.
What else is on here?
What else you got?
Oh. How about a jig?
A jig, okay.
A jig. So this is a tune that I got from Frank Farrell. I mean, Frank wrote it, and he,
Good one,
he
too.
named it for his friend, the wonderful piano player Peter Barnes, who is where? Massachusetts?
I think,
Yeah,
outside of Boston.
yeah. And so I just love this tune.
I do too. It's a good one.
And I play it in the contest at Weezer, and the folklore is that, you know, if you play a jig, you're just dead in the water there. But I managed to get away with it, so figure it out. It's a magical tune. All right, key of A.
Like that one always makes me happy.
Yeah, it's
Way
just
up
one
the
of
neck
those
there.
kind of tunes. The
Good
guy,
one. Good on you, Frank, for writing that tune.
my usual backup person at Weezer, who is Rod Anderson from Spokane, he likes to call that tune Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
Yeah, it does play a bibbidi bobbidi boop, doesn't it?
It does kind of. How about, ooh, Granny, will your dog
Ah,
bite?
Yeah.
Another tune in A. I got this one from Howard Marshall from Missouri, and I'd heard this tune for years, you know, and it was just another one of those A tunes that has a little modal shift, and you know, you've heard one, you've heard them all. That's not quite true, but you know, there's a certain truth to that. But then I heard the version that he recorded, and his backup guy, who is a guy from Arkansas named Michael Breed, put this E chord in, and it just revolutionized the tune for me, and I had to learn it. So
I'm not sure if
if
I
you
know
got
where
it,
that
no,
E
so
chord
that you,
goes.
okay,
You'll-
see that
give me the eye there.
I'll give you the I'll give
I
you
know
the
I played
stink
this
eye
tune
if you
with
miss
but I
it.
don't think I've
It's at the end of the da 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 dee da 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 dee da
Oh,
right
okay.
there.
I'll look for it.
Tuning is a good thing.
There we go.
It's
Okay.
a futility though, because it's about what 58 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and slightly damp. The instruments do whatever they want
Welcome
to do.
to the Northwest.
Yeah, I love that tune.
You didn't mention the lyrics, though.
I didn't mention the lyrics. Oh, the lyrics. Yes.
You don't have
You
to.
know, we got a theme here. There's 3 tunes about dogs.
Oh.
I don't even have a dog. I never have had a dog. I like them okay, but yeah, okay. One of the highlights of the spring and of various Zoom things that I've dabbled in was the Reed College virtual alumni reunion. And so I participated in the talent show. And so I played that tune. And, you know, I introduced it, I told the name of it, and then I played the tune. And afterwards, the guy that was emceeing it, he said, you know, a lot of these fiddle tunes have some very odd names. Is there anything that you can tell us about this one? And I said, Well, I don't really know anything about it. All I know is that there's words to it, and the words go, Granny, will your dog bite? No child, no. Daddy cut his biter off a long time ago. And the MC guy says, and I can't get it, his exact pacing and the pause and tone of voice right, but I'll do my best. Conversations were different back then. Yes, I just about fell on the floor laughing. That was pretty good. Anyway,
Good one.
I don't know. What does cutting your biter off mean? It sounds
Oh,
disgusting.
well, we'll just let people use their
Yeah, we
imagination
won't go there.
on that.
You have to ask an orthodontist, I guess. Let's do something. Ooh. No, we just did a jig. Let's do that one later. How about a waltz?
Sure.
How
Get
about
your-
Brandon?
All right.
Okay, so this I got from Grant Lamb, and he was from Portage Eau Prairie, Manitoba, and he used to visit us every spring, every March, because he was a farmer, and there wasn't that much that you could do on the farm at that season. And so he would just appear on our doorsteps on one day in March, and we'd say, well, "Hi, Grant. How are you doing? How long do you plan to stay?" And he'd say, "No plans, no plans." And he'd stick around for a week or so, and it was always great fun. And we always played a ton of tunes. He was a very good fiddler, also an excellent piano player. So we had a great time. So I got this tune from him. He says he learned it when he was in one day. He was in Brandon, Manitoba, and he just heard some guy on the street whistling the tune. And, he learned the tune from that, and I don't know if he even talked to the guy, but he didn't have a name for it, and so he just called it the Brandon Waltz, because that's where he learned it. That is so
That
cute.
is a good one.
It's just adorable.
Yeah, good. Beautiful. That's so great to play with you again, Vivian. We've been trying to get together on this porch throughout the
Yeah,
summer.
well, we managed a couple of
We've gone a few
times,
times.
3 or 4 times.
Keeping our social distance.
Yes. the best one was my birthday party.
Oh, good.
Yes. When Terry Wergelin brought his trumpet and we went to the
yeah.
front.
That's
We
right.
went to the front yard and he played the theme from Star Wars, and all the neighborhood
All the
kids went
neighbors.
nuts. That was great fun, but
That was good. Well, Vivian's got the greatest verandas in the city. This is this big, long, must be 30 feet anyway.
I don't know,
More.
it's big.
And
Upstairs
then there's
is
another one just the same
upstairs,
upstairs.
and it has a view of Mount Rainier. This
Not
one
today,
doesn't.
though.
Not today. No, a view of more clouds though. How about? Well, let's do that other jig. How about the old quadrille?
All right.
Okay, I think we've played this before. It starts on a big fat A chord,
Okay.
even though it's in the key of D.
All right.
And this one, I know very little about it. There was this old fiddler from North Dakota. A ton of them out here. We always called them North Dakota Norwegians because a lot of them were of Norwegian ancestry. But anyway, his name was Joe Hansen, and he lived in Bremerton, Washington. And he used to just send me random tunes in the mail. I mean, he would just copy something or write it down or whatever. And so this one was handwritten, and it's just called Old Quadrille. And then it says P.N. Meyer, 1897. And that's it. That's all I know about it.
Huh. This is a jig or a reel?
It's a jig.
It's a jig. I thought so.
Yeah. So,
All right.
what can I say? It's a great tune. Let's see. How do we start it? I can just start with the. Yeah, that's a fun tune.
That one. I like that.
P.N. Meyer. I have no idea who that was. Not a clue.
And I wonder if it was the old quadrille when he made it up. How old it? Well, never.
It says
This is not-
1897.
But it was already
okay.
old then. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. I mean, he might not be the composer. His
That's
name
true.
is written where you usually see the composer, but it could be just that he was the guy that played it, and it was old when he was old in
Yeah.
1897. Oh my God. Okay. How about ta 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 ta? Frog Heaven?
Sure.
Frog Heaven. I have a question mark on that one because that's one that I'm not sure how it's going to go when my fingers are getting a little cold, but that's okay. The frogs don't care.
Yeah.
So, when Mike Seeger was putting together his third annual reunion recording, he wanted me on it, and he wanted a tune that I wrote, and he wanted one that hadn't been recorded. Well, and he was going to play banjo on it. So I didn't have any banjo-friendly tunes that I hadn't recorded, and so I wrote one specifically for that record, and so we recorded it. Sandy Bradley was playing piano, Phil was playing mandolin. Who was playing what? Was Nancy Katz playing bass, or did we even have a bass? I don't remember. But anyway.
And why Frog Heaven?
Oh, Frog Heaven. Well, if you have a fiddle tune and you need a name for it, get one of those great big maps of Mount Rainier National Park, because there's all sorts of cool names for tunes to be found on that map. So Frog Heaven is a lake. It's actually more of a sort of a marsh, and it's close to the road to paradise.
Ah, all right.
It's almost in tune.
say Vivian here has written quite a few really choice tunes, and even put out books with them in there, right?
Well, yeah, gotta express that old egotism one way or another.
I guess I'll just make mention of the fact that Voyager Records is still going.
It's
even
still,
though
we're still
you're not making
barely.
any more Voyager Records much, but you did just make one recently last year, right?
Right.
And all the old one, most of the old titles are still in stock.
Most of them, not all of them.
So.
And I'm not repressing any of them. Well, occasionally I might run off a couple of copies of something, but basically I'm not repressing.
But
It's
there's
just
some great books and great recordings going back, 50 years or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All out in the basement of this house.
Okay.
All right, well, we got time for a few more.
All right, how about the Clearwater Stomp?
All right.
So this is from Gil Kiesecker, and he was a old fiddler, lived in Seattle for many years, but he was born and raised in Anatone, Washington, which is right in the southeast corner of the state. And he's got this tune from some guy in Lewiston that wrote it, the Clearwater Stomp. And well, there's it's up on YouTube. There's a video of Gil playing this tune. I think it might be at the Kittitas workshop, I'm not sure. And he was only about 99 when he was, 99 years old when he was playing it for that. And he, well, maybe 96, I don't know. And he passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 101.
Woo.
And the last time I heard him play, he was 100 and he was still doing all right. So
All right.
he was an amazing guy.
Something to look forward to.
Oh, and we did record this thing. We put out 2 CDs of Gil, and both of them are still in stock. So when we recorded this tune, Jean Lavold, his daughter, was backing him up on the piano, and he was complaining about the way she was backing up this tune, because he said, she's playing it like a foxtrot instead of a stomp. And so, we asked him, well, so what's the difference? I mean, what's a stomp? And he couldn't answer it. He just sort of went stomp, stomp, stomp on the floor. And, so I guess he couldn't explain it to her either. I think she did an excellent job myself. But not having a piano, we will use a guitar.
I wouldn't know what to do with it anyway.
I don't know what the difference between a stomp and a foxtrot is. There's got to be somebody that knows.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will tell us probably. pretty good there.
I guess. Well, let's
I like
see.
that.
What else? Oh, what else is on our A list?
Yeah, 2 or 3 more, I think, could pretty much fill out the
Well,
hour.
should we attempt Gobbler's knob?
Well, as soon as you put it that way, my answer is going to be yes.
Of course. Okay. This is another one where the name came from a place in Mount Rainier National Park. Although I understand there's another place called Gobbler's Knob in, I don't know, Tennessee or somewhere.
There's one in a movie too, isn't there? A Jimmy Stewart movie where he comes from
Probably.
Gobbler's Knob or something?
I don't know. I don't know. So I came up with this tune. I remember we had played a gig somewhere, and I came back and I sort of had it running through my head, and so I took out my fiddle and I just started messing around with it, and this tune came out, and I said, "Hey Phil, grab a recorder. I think I've got a new tune, and there's no way I can write it down because it's one of those tunes that just does not. I mean, you can't." I have a written version of it, and it doesn't even begin to communicate what this tune really does. So in case you care about silly things like that, I'm in second position, and and so there's this open E string ringing away, and it makes it sound like the fiddle is in cross tuning, but it's not. So I don't know how I came up with a silly idea like that, but it's fun.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, that one's very hard to do with cold fingers. I only hit one real bad wrong note, so what the heck.
I didn't even hear it.
That's because I covered it up real good.
You're good.
It's pure fakery. Most of fiddling is, you guys already know that. Most of fiddling is fakery.
Oh, it sure is great that we got you on the quarantine happy hour, Vivian, even if we had to, maybe they haven't noticed that we're pre-recording this. Obviously, this didn't start at 5:30 in Seattle here, but we picked a nice
5:30.
warm
It would have been dark by now
and
if we'd
cold.
started
We
at
scheduled the
5:30.
warmest part of the day.
It's all relative.
Really great to hear these tunes. So
One more?
one more, I think would probably be about right.
How about the Happy Acres two-step.
All right.
It's a Canadian tune written, I think it's written by Cease McEachern,
Oh, really? I
one of
didn't know
those
that.
guys.
Mhm.
And
Well,
I've always thought the title was a little bit silly. It sounds like a retirement trailer park or something.
Yeah.
Happy Acres, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Also
But it's-
known to some as the White Mountain Reel.
Right, right.
That was kind of popular around here with, although you play one more beat than that version.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
version
it was
left
it was
out a-
written straight. It
a
was
beat.
written straight, and some of these French Canadian, you know
know
how they like to drop a beat, add a beat, you know.
Does it start on the D
Whatever.
part or the A part? Starts on the
It
D
starts on da da da.
Yeah, good. All right.
The part that's in the part
Just one
that's in the
second
key
here
of D.
now. I see a little thing here happening, so I better just do that. Okay. I think we have uninterrupted video.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Brava, Vivian Williams. What
Thank
a
you very
great
much.
thing to get to hear all your fiddle tunes and such great tunes and such great stories.
Okay. Well, thank you,
Great. Well,
and
thanks for
good
doing it.
night.